news now as well. It's that story in Connecticut that has so many people shaking their heads. The brutal murders of a mother and her two daughters. One defendant in that case already sentenced to death, and the second is on trial now. He's accused of sexually assaulting the youngest victim, who was only 11 years old. His attorney says he didn't kill them. So what does this all mean for the case? Ted Nelson is a former prosecutor. Jennifer Brandt is a defense attorney. It's going to come down to a matter of he said, because nobody knows specifically who lit the match that started the gasoline on fire, that killed the two girls, especially. They died of smoke inhalation. Tad, how do you go about proving that if you're the prosecutor in this case?
Well, the prosecutor, the best thing they have is just their main witness, unfortunately, Dr. Pettit, who lost his wife and lost his two daughters. He listened to the majority of this from the basement. And he's giving it today. He's laying out a foundation that's just step by step by step showing how bad it was. He's talking about the things he's heard. And also, that is going to be one thing that really helps the government's case. The next thing is Joshua Komisarjevsky's own letter that he sent out from prison describing what he did and the way he looked about it and the enjoyment that he received from killing these people. That's going to be his biggest hurdle.
Yeah.
It's that he just seems so intent to kill.
Jennifer, that letter runs 40 pages. There's no way to go over it all, but he said things like, "I am the devil," pretty appalling stuff. If you're the defense attorney, how do you fight that kind of thing?
Well, I think you have a difficult case. I mean, certainly he's guilty. We all know that he's guilty. He was there. And the defense, what they're going to do is try to mitigate the circumstances by saying, oh, he had a bad childhood, or he didn't know what he was doing, or he didn't want to participate in that. But there's no proof. He stayed for the entire crime. He was there all along. He even attempted to drive the getaway car to get out of there. So if he did not want to kill these people and participate in this crime, he should have been out at the beginning of it or not even started it. So I think he's got a real problem in this case, and I think he's going to get the same sentence as his co-defendant.
Our reporter who's watching the case, Laura Engel, Jennifer, says that the defense in this case, Komisarjevsky's defense team, is being more aggressive than Stephen Hayes' defense team was the first time around. I suppose that when you saw the sentence that Hayes got, that's kind of the only approach you can take?
I think it really is. I mean, because if they want to protect him and they saw what happened to the other person, to Hayes, I mean, clearly they do have to be more aggressive. And I think you're dealing with, two different people. And from what I understand is that Hayes was sort of, he kind of knew and even sort of wanted the death penalty. He was looking for a punishment. Whereas this defendant, I don't feel, has that same feeling about it. He wants to get off, to get out of this, and not receive the death penalty.
Tad,
so I think you're dealing with two different individuals as well, and maybe that's what's driving the defense to approach it differently.
Very quickly, Tad, Dr. Pettit has been through this before. He's heard the testimony of other witnesses in another trial. Does that bring up an appealable point in any way because he heard other witnesses' testimony in the first trial?
No, there's always going to be an exclusion to the rule for the victim's family. And, in this case, he deserved to sit there with his family, hear the entire trial, see what the government was doing for him, see what his tax dollars were spending. And that's what there's just no way. We're not going to see an appellate issue with that. I mean, the bottom line here is if you're pro-death penalty, this is the time that somebody actually deserves to die. If you're anti-death penalty, you'll never find a situation where somebody deserves to die. But this is the one, this is the kind of monster that the death penalty is written for.
Tad Nelson and Jennifer Brandt.
I agree with Ted.
Thank you both. We'll be right back.
Thank you.